I must say that the women are trying.
Okay.
We have quite a number of notable women in engineering, particularly in engineering. Even in other professional bodies, a lot of women are contributing a quota to the development of national development, so to speak, in Nigeria. Especially in my profession, apart from the fact that we are part of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, we also have a female arm, which is called the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, where we have maximum notable women in engineering taking giant strides and creating paradigm shift in the profession. So we have quite a number of notable women. I must say that.
Okay. I'm happy to note that. One cannot but, like I said, wonder, because we know really that even here in Nigeria we have names, people who are doing wonderfully well, women, whichever area women choose to go to, they're always exceptional, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that. So when I say, you just need to check among names and you're like, where are we? And of course that also takes me to certain statistic that I came across. That percentage of African women in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is far below other continents, even Arabian countries. And I begin to wonder, we know that Arabs, their women, because of their culture and tradition, they are always indoor. And if we are having more people there into research around STEM compared to Africa, you want to wonder, what could be responsible? In our schools, for example, girls will normally gravitate towards arts and commercial classes than science. If there were jobs openings in the area of that requires professional skills in maybe in the area of sciences generally, more women are given opportunities. In fact, they'll say women are advised to apply because they want to give them. But at the end of the day, even with all this encouragement, you still find depths of competencies from the area of the women. And at the end of the day, men eventually take most of the road. Now, would you say, because part of what the theme and the goal of all this day, a day like this, is talking about, it's about gender equality. Now, with all of this almost laid bare for women, girls to take for granted, they are not taking advantage of it. Would you say?
I don't agree with you.
No, because I mean, okay, I just said girls in secondary school. It's a fact that many of them don't come to sciences. We know that. That's a fact. That's a fact.
The reason why I wouldn't agree with you is because over time the statistics has changed in Nigeria.
Yes.
And we took a lot of steps as professional women, especially in engineering, to ensure that we go to the secondary schools, to take the gospel to the secondary school, that you must come to STEM. I will tell you two areas that we took very, very important as professional women engineers. We go to the secondary schools, we talk to them, and then we train the teachers to make the children interested in STEM. Because there is a difference between the girls being interested in engineering or sciences or medical profession, and also for the teachers to make it interesting for them to want to go into the sciences. So we train the teachers in STEM, the ideas, the innovative ideas in carrying the gospel to them, to make it interesting for them to want to go into physics, to want to go into chemistry, to want to go into the biology and the likes of them. We make it compulsory. We train teachers every year as professional women. We do trainings for them to ensure that the way of teaching should make it more interesting for the children. Apart from that, when I was chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in Ikeja branch, we started what we call the coding club for children. And we have mostly girls. And I must assure you that there was a girl that came up with a design, she's asthmatic, and she came up with a design by herself, having gone through the coding system, to create a watch that would tell her when the temperature of a room increases, that she has to leave that room, so that it doesn't trigger asthma. So those are some of the things. You find out that when you put women in the right perspective, they tend to do more.
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. But the women tend to, give you a more broader view of what you teach them. And so we started what we call the coding club that is still running. We run it every summer for the children, and we have mostly girls coming for the summer class because they are more interested. You know, the way the world is going in advancing in technology, we have a lot of more softer skills in technology. You have the ICT, you have the IoT, and the likes of them. So it gives more opportunity and more broad way for women to go into engineering. And so we have a lot of them going into it, into the mechatronics, the electronics, and the likes of the robotics and all that.
Okay, honestly, I think you need to make this, your coding, whatever, more public so that a lot of people could be interested and that they are not aware. I want to shift away from the school. Yes, we understand the fact that, yes, you go, you train the teachers. What more are you doing other than the school? Why I said so? Are you taking your training or further to probably parents, as in mothers, fathers, as into the home? Because, you know, the home is the bedrock of the society. I give you an example. Like I have a daughter that, you know, even as a baby would say, oh, mommy, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to take care of you. I want to take care of my grandma and all of that. But, you know, then you would say children and all of that. But when she got into the JS1, she walked up to me one day and said to me, Mom, I want to be a gynecologist. Ooh, that day I said, wow, this girl knows what she really wants to do. Lo and behold, fast forward, she got to SS1, and the first time she was challenged. She didn't do well in her further maths, she didn't do well in her physics, she didn't do well in her chemistry, you know, all her science subjects. And, you know, just halfway into the first time, she was discouraged. She said to me, well, Mommy, you're doing well as a broadcast journalist. Can I just change and go into arts? I sat her down and, you know, said to her, what do you really want to do? She said, yes, I want to be a doctor, but it seems I don't know this physics. It seems I don't, you understand what I'm saying? It seems I'm not getting it. But probably because I am more knowledgeable, I know what to do, and I know that this is what she desires to do. But probably got the challenges and all of that. So I was able to, you know, talk to her, work on her morale, work on her emotional. I did a lot of things, you know. I went back to school, research on maybe the teachers and all of that as a parent. And you see, today, she's happy. She's doing fantastically well in her chemistry. She's doing well in her, you know, her sciences and all of that. And she's happy that she's, you know, achieving her dream. So my question here is, some parents will just feel, well, but till they're more, you know, she doesn't know the physics science. Instead of my child coming last in the class, you want to do arts, go to arts. Before you know what is happening, when the child grows up, because the passion, what she really wanted to do, was killed by probably one or two challenges she faced, then she might not be fulfilled. What are you doing other than going to the school level and, you know, at the home front or parents and all of that?
We do a lot of counseling for parents, especially when they come around with their children, because we do competitions in secondary school. Currently, we on Monday, we are going to do our press conference for the WASH program, because we take the sanitation very, very important. So we have an essay competition coming up for children in secondary school, wherein they'll be writing essays that has to do with WASH, that has to do with hygiene, which we are going to be working with the Lagos State Water Corporation on that project. And the grand finale is going to be on the World Water Day. So when we go to their schools and talk to them, some of them do, you know, carry on with their parents, and their parents will contact us. We have one boy, he just graduated, he's serving right now. The father is a vulcanizer, you know, and the mother just sells on the road. But we were able to run him through automobile engineering at the university, because he participated in some of what we call the project skill competition that we run for children in secondary school. And we make it, we focus on the public schools, not the private schools, because we know their parents can afford to send them to any school. So we run with the public schools, and some of them that can't afford to pay JAM, we pay for them if we know that they're interested in engineering, and we cancel their parents. They come around with their parents, we talk to them. There are quite a number of parents, you know, I remember a parent that we canceled, that he wanted the child to be a medical doctor, and he said, oh, I have a house in VI, I want that house to be used as an hospital. I said, so if you wanted your house to be used as an hospital, why didn't you just study the medicine yourself? Why must you compel somebody that wants to study engineering to go into medicine because you want to use your house in VI as an hospital, you know. But right now the guy graduated, you know, just last year, engineering, you know. So we do a lot of counseling for parents, not only parents that you know, probably their children is not doing well in sciences. Some parents, their children are doing so well, but they want a particular, you know, profession for them. And I wonder why they didn't go into that profession themselves.
You know, for many parents, what they could not achieve, they want to achieve it in their children.
You know, at the time I was counseling the parents, you know, the mother confessed to me and said, Madam, see, these children are really doing so well. When I was in school, I wasn't scoring A1 in mathematics. And these children are doing. I said, so why don't you encourage them? Why must you compel them to do what you couldn't do? You know, so those are some of the challenges. And that is where counseling comes into play, you know, in talking to some of the parents.
Okay, let's take it back to girls.
Yeah, we'll continue.
Okay, let's take it back to girls now. I want to go further to professionals, girls, women, females, and all of that. The sciences. Today we're celebrating girls, female gender in sciences. So, but we realize that most often than not, we realize most of these females are shortchanged. In an office, you have an electrical engineer, the manager is there. You have a male and a female at par. And probably the female could even be more qualified, but the MD could some sort of use the discretion to say, this one now, she get married, she get pregnant. She would, you know, when we need someone to go to the field, when we need somebody to be there at the construction site, when we need somebody, you know, all of this masculine, you know, dominated kind of job where you need the physical strength at times, they just shortchange the female and say, well, let's put her there and put her down and put the men there. What are you doing towards?
Do you have evidence for this, or you're
these are things that happen.
I mean, if you
I have a couple of friends that have fallen victim of the fact that
seriously,
they are females.
Anyway, madam, as a professional in that field, I think you'll be able to prefer, you know, good answers to that. But I know that if you have what it takes, if you are qualified, you sure will merit it.
You are absolutely correct.
That's right.
Well, I must say that I've had to deliver some lectures on that, which I call, you know, coming out of the shadows, excelling in a male-dominated field. I've delivered a lecture both in the US and within the country, even in East Africa on that. It's a challenge. It's not only a scenario. You're correct, she's correct. Because it's something that happens, you know, a lot of the times to female, especially in engineering. You have quite a number of females in engineering that probably they are at Escravos. Take for instance, Escravos. You are going to be there for like 1 month, and you have basically male, you know, around you, and you're probably the only female, and everybody is looking at. So you need to be strong. You need to, you know your vision. For a female, you need to have a vision for yourself. What do you want to become? I know that when I started contesting for, you know, in the professional bodies, I became the first female to become the chairman for the Lagos chapter of mechanical engineers, and then I became the first female to become the national chairman for mechanical engineers, being the 15th national chairman. That means they've had several men coming up before I came up. 14 of them. I'm saying this because it takes a lot of determination. You know, it's a psychic thing that you have to speak to yourself. And I encourage women, look into the mirror. Who are you? Who am I? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? You need to play on your strength and reduce your weaknesses. And then know where do you have the shortfalls? How do you need to come up by yourself? See, nobody can like you more than you can like yourself.
Exactly.
Whether you are a male or you are a female now. So wherever you're working, in your place of work, at home and everywhere, you have to be determined to succeed. If you don't determine to succeed and to know the visions and the goals that you have for yourself, nobody's going to take you there if you don't take yourself there. If you're in a place of work where you have, in my office, I'm the only female in my department, and I do my work, and I make sure I put my feet on the ground, you know, to show my presence there also. And wherever I go, I tend to show my presence, you know, because I'm determined that I want to stand out. So a female, whether you are in the engineering profession, the medical profession, wherever we find ourselves, you must determine that you want to stand out by yourself, and you must determine by yourself that you want to succeed. And nobody can take you there except you take yourself there.
Okay, good one. You see, time is always not a friend when we're discussing this very, very, how do I put it?
Important.
Important, you know, And of course, honestly, I'm really enjoying this discussion. Let's see how we can, take more advantage of the little time we have. Now, yes, we have in this part of the world, really, I think some names, particularly among the young people in the area of tech. I mean, just like you said, they are more interested in, and of course, that's what is the skill of today. A name like Bisola Labi is, I don't know if you know her, she's doing wonderful work in the area of tech and even helping other women take advantage of, there's a platform she has that she's doing that, and she's also making wave in that area. Now, I want to ask, how can we encourage our girls, to develop passion for the sciences in our schools? And, in addition to that, how can we also promote more women in STEM so that we can have more of them like you?
One of the areas, like I said earlier, is that for us to help the young ones to come into STEM, they need to have role models. And that means that the role models must go, we must go around the schools, mentor them. There is one program we started some few years ago. We call it Take a Girl to Work. Okay. So you can take a girl from a secondary school, you take the child to work, it sees how you work, and is encouraged to want to go into sciences. Because they say, oh, she's a manager at work, they respect her, they do this, oh, she's this. So you encourage them, that's one program, and then we take the advocacy to the schools to talk to them about STEM, to tell them what we do in our places of work. There's one adage in Yoruba that says the way you are seen is the way you are perceived. So when we take the advocacies to the schools and we talk to them and they see the way we appear, some of them, I remember one of my cousin's children, he studied chemical engineering, he's doing masters in Canada now, and he told me, I said, why did you go into engineering? He said, it's because of me. I said, how? I never spoke to him about engineering. He said he was listening to my conversation on the phone, talking about the contract, and I was saying million. He said, no, if that profession talks about million, I want to go there, and get millions. So,
oh my God.
So there are being a role model, taking the advocacy to them, encouraging the teachers to make it interesting for them, to make mathematics interesting for them, is very, very important.
That's right.
And also to be able to, encourage them one-on-one, have a one-on-one session with some of these children, going to the schools, organizing programs that they will be able to compete in favorably. Like the one I said is coming up, that's the WASH program, when we are going to have schools in the 6th district in Lagos State competing for the essay on sanitation and hygiene. And so, of course, we're going to have a number of them come up with different ideas, and then we organize competitions for them, wherein they come up with the ideas, they design things, and they defend it. Not only design it, they come do their defense. We allow the other schools to ask them questions, building the confidence in them to be able to defend whatever ideas they come up with.
Thank you very much, Ma. We in fact, I think we have been schooled. Honestly, I've really enjoyed, our discussion so far. And I think the ultimate thing to do here, among other things you've told us, is to also key into the theme of this year's International Day for Women and Girls in Science, to innovate, demonstrate, elevate, advance, and very importantly, to sustain what you are doing, Well, on a lighter note, they say the reason why girls are not interested in science, because at the kid level, boys were given toys, cars, robots, but girls, dolls, they play with dolls. That's why they are not interested in science. But we hope that will be changing.
No, that is already changing, because every child uses a computer now. So, of course, you can use your computer to design whatever you like.
Right. Thank you so much.
I think before we let her go, maybe she should just encourage a female outside there that is still, digging on what, if I should do this or I should not do it.
Okay.
I want to encourage every female out there. As a professional woman, it's not easy. There is no journey that is easy. There is no success that does not come with a lot of challenges.
Right.
So I want to encourage you out there. If you are still thinking about going into sciences, is the right direction for you, because science rules the world. It's about problem solving, and whoever solves a problem becomes a change agent. So, of course, create your idea, innovate your idea, groom your idea. The sky is not going to be your limit. The sky is going to be your starting point as you begin to come up by yourself and set goals for yourself use the SMART principle to set something for yourself, measure your goals, put a timeline to them. I want to achieve this at this time. I want to achieve this at this time. And you need to take your sciences very seriously if you want to be great in the area of sciences and engineering. I want to say happy International Women and Girls in Science Day to every one of us.
Thank you very much, our guest. Yes, you just said it. What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Olufunmilade Atinoke Akingbagbohun, right?
Thank you very much. Congratulations, you got that right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time with us. We really appreciate
Thank you very much.
We hope when next we call on you, you'll be our guest.
Not a problem.
Okay, all right. Yes, that's been our time with the engineer, Dr. Mrs. with us, who's been sharing our thoughts with us on the International Day for Women and Girls in Science. So we move on right now to
the sporting world.
Yeah, to relax at this point. I mean, we've been discussing something very serious, don't you think so? So let's relax a bit with, sporting package that we have for you